Hello children, welcome back to Uma Talks, and here I am with your third chapter from Snapshot, 11th English, okay, Snapshot, and it is Ranga's marriage, okay. So Ranga's marriage, and the author is Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. So he has written this Ranga's marriage. Actually this story, okay, belongs to a village in Mysore, okay, and Karnataka, and there this person is the first one who has been sent to Bangalore by his parents, and he has mastered English, okay, the language, and nobody in the village knows it. And when he returns back after his studies, people from the village, okay, all around, they come to watch him, what changes has taken place, and the story completely deals with that and about his marriage. So let us talk about it, the summary. So this particular story, Ranga's marriage, okay, this story itself is located in Hoshahalli, okay. This is a village in Mysore state, in the former Mysore state, okay. Now it is a part of Karnataka. And 10 years ago, the village did not have many people who knew English, okay. And the village accountant's son, okay, Ranga was the first one who was sent to Bangalore to study. And a decade ago, means after 10 years, okay, the use of English language was not widespread in the narrator's village, and that was why Ranga's homecoming, when Ranga returned back, okay, homecoming, it was a great event. People had all gathered over there to welcome him. So people rushed to his doorstep announcing that Ranga, who had gone to Bangalore for his studies, had come back. So anybody who knew, they kept on spreading it from one person to another that Ranga was sent to Karnataka, okay, Bangalore, is returning back home, okay. So they all flocked over there to have just a glance of Ranga, and the narrator himself, that is Venkatesha Iyengar, he also went over there, okay, and he stood in the courtyard, the verandas, as we call, no, so there he stood over there to have a glance. Then seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. So Ranga was happy to see so many people, so he came out with a smile on his face, and everybody was surprised to see Ranga, okay, because he was the same as he had gone. There were no such changes, okay. So 6 months before he had gone, and now he had come back. So they were expecting quite a lot of changes in him. So when he had first left the village, okay, and now, but there were no certain changes as such. So once they realized that Ranga was unchanged, okay, physically especially, the crowd started disappearing slowly, okay. Only the narrator Shyama continued to stand there. So the narrator is named as Shyama, so he continued to be there. And after everyone had gone, the narrator asked Rangarappa how he was, okay. So the narrator goes closely to him, okay, Shyama, and asks him how are you, how he was, okay. Ranga noticed, and he came near him and greeted him respectfully. Okay, that is the course. When we meet some elders, when we come from far, with respect, with gratitude, we meet people. So Ranga was a worldly wise young man. Yes, he had gone to study, he had become wise. So he was a young boy. He knew when it would be to his advantage to talk to someone. So he knew how much to talk and when to talk. Got it? So he rightly assessed people's worth. Okay, he understood what was the value of people. So that much wisdom he had gained. And the narrator was resting in the afternoon. Then Ranga came to his house with a couple of oranges in his hand. So when after that narrator goes to his house, okay, and while he was resting in the afternoon, the Ranga visits him with a couple of oranges. He takes some oranges for the narrator Shyama. So the narrator regarded him a generous, considerate fellow. So the narrator tells he is very considerate sort of person and very generous. Got it? So he thought that it would be a fine thing to have him marry. and settle down and be of service to the society. So the narrator says that he is a very good young man, okay, and the idea comes to his mind, Shyama's, the narrator's mind, that it will be good if we get this boy married, okay, so that he can be useful for the society, he could be a service to the society, okay, because he was a valued person. He asked Rangappa, it is said, South Indians normally the name which they elongate little and they speak, so here it is. He asked Rangappa when he planned to get married. So he asks Ranga, when are you planning to get married? And Ranga says he was not going to marry just then. So he will, but not at that particular time. So he needs to find a girl and she should be mature enough. These were the conditions. He says that yes, I will marry, but I'll have to look for a girl and she should be mature enough. And secondly, he wanted to marry a girl he admired. Got it? So he was not in favor of arranged marriages prevalent in society. Very important point. He also tells the narrator that I would like to marry the girl whom I love, whom I admire, and I am not in support of arranged marriages. And during that time, that was very prevalent in the society. So if he could not get a girl of his choice, he would prefer to remain a bachelor. He also tells the narrator that if I don't get a girl of my choice, okay, at very first sight I would love her. If I don't get a girl like that, throughout life I'll remain a bachelor. So the narrator felt distressed, okay, felt little sad at Ranga's decision to remain a bachelor. Such a good person, okay, remaining a bachelor, not good. That is what the narrator thought. So Ranga left after talking for some time, and the narrator made up his mind that he would get Ranga married. Okay, so he thought that Ramarau's niece Ratna. Now Ramarao is another person in the village, and he has a niece whose name is Ratna. She is a pretty girl of 11 years old. And the narrator fixes a match in his own mind, and he thinks that she will be the most suitable bride, okay, for whom? For Ranga. And she was from a big town, knew how to play the veena and harmonium. This girl was very well versed, okay, and she also had a very sweet voice. So the next morning, the narrator started planning the things. So the next morning, narrator goes to Ramarao's house, okay. Ratna lived in the same house, and told his wife, Ramarao's wife, to ask Ratna to fetch some buttermilk from his house, okay. So he tells that he just asks Ramarao, okay, and tells his wife that you ask Ratna to go to my house and get some buttermilk, so that he can talk about Ratna's marriage. In presence of Ratna, he cannot. So that Ratna goes out to his own house and gets some buttermilk and he can talk. When Ratna came, he requested her to sing a song. On this Friday, she was wearing a grand sari. So when Ratna comes taking the buttermilk, okay, he asked her to sing a song, and it was Friday and she was wearing a very grand sari, very rich sari, you can say. And the narrator had sent for Ranga too. Narrator was very manipulative, and he had sent some person to call Ranga also. Okay, while she was singing a song, Ranga reached the door. So while the girl was singing, Ranga also reached over there, and he reached to the door. He was curious to see, because her voice was very sweet, and Ranga was curious, excited to see the singer, and peeped in. He was trying to peep in to see the singer. Okay, the light coming in the room was blocked. So because he was at the door trying to peep, so the light which was entering into the room, that was blocked. And seeing a stranger there, Ranga stopped abruptly. So all of a sudden, Ranga saw that some stranger she couldn't recognize, or she didn't know him. Okay, so she stopped singing over there. She stood at a distance, her head lowered. So the girl Ratna, she stood over there, and seeing a stranger, she lowered her head. So Ranga repeatedly glanced, and Ranga was continuously going on looking at her. He said that his arrival had made her stop singing and offered to leave. and then he says that because I came, she has stopped singing, so let me leave, let me go. Okay, but he did not leave. He was telling that let me go, and he was not leaving. So Ratna she ran inside, seeing this particular person. Ranga asks the narrator who that girl was. Okay, now he inquires about the girl, little what you can say, a pull towards her. He also expressed the hope that she was not married, and he also tells her that I hope she's not married. The narrator noticed his excitement, okay, and said that she was married a year ago. Okay, and he said that he understood, he was very excited. So all of a sudden he tells her, no, she's not married. So all the excitement will go. So he tells her that just a year back she was married. And the narrator noticed signs of disappointment on Ranga's face. He was very disappointed. Okay, for the first time he must have liked the girl. So Ranga left after some time. And the very next morning again, narrator went to the astrologer, okay, Shastriji, and told him to keep everything ready to read the stars. So he is manipulating everything, goes to the astrologer, talks to him everything, fixes him and tells him how to read the stars. Okay, he tutored the astrologer, he teaches the astrologer, okay, in all that he wanted him to say. He tells him what to say, so that the astrologer tells him when Ranga comes, the astrologer would only say whatever he has been asked to say. Got it? So then after that he escorted Ranga to Shastri. He goes to take Ranga and takes Ranga to Shastriji's house. Shastriji praised astrology as an ancient science, asked Ranga stars, and Ranga did not know. So after making some calculations, Shastriji over there, the astrologer, okay, he said that Ranga was thinking about a girl. Okay, now he wanted to prove that I can understand what is going on in your mind. So astrologer said, after calculating something, he said that I know you are thinking about a girl. To the narrator's question as to who that girl was, okay, narrator now inquired who was that girl about who he was thinking. So the Shastriji said that she had the name of something found in the ocean. Okay, so Kamala, Pachi, Moss, they started guessing. Got it? So something, some precious stone which is found in the ocean, he says. Okay, something which is found in the ocean. So they start guessing Kamala, Pachi, Moss, Pearl or Ratna, the precious stone. So these are the names, he says, something like this may be the name. So the narrator remembered that the name of the girl in Ramarao's house was Ratna, and he asked if there was any chance of the negotiation bearing fruit. Okay, so he could understand that it was Ramarao's house, okay, the niece, his niece named Ratna. And Shastri gave a positive response. He said that, do you feel that they are going to get married and all? So Shastri, some negotiation can be done, and Shastriji says, yes, positive. And there was surprise on Ranga's face. Ranga again filled with hope. Okay, so he had a smile on his face and he was happy as well. The narrator observed that the girl was married. So, and he noticed that Ranga's face had fallen. So again the narrator says that, but the girl is married. Okay, and again Ranga became sad, Sant. So on the way, they passed by Ramarao's house. So again, while they were returning back, they crossed Ramarao's house and Ratna was standing alone at the door. So narrator went in alone, came out in a minute and gave the news that the girl wasn't married. Okay, so Ramarao gets inside, very, very manipulative sort of person, isn't it, children? So he gets into the Ramarao's house, narrator, and comes out and says, "Ha, good news for you, the girl is not married." So you can understand how Ranga would have thought and what the expression on his face. He remarked that whatever Shastriji told them had turned out to be true, and now he can believe Shastriji. Shastriji said that yes, there can be negotiations, and just now it proved to be true. He asked Ranga if he had been thinking of her, and Ranga admitted it. So the narrator asked, were you thinking of Ratna? And he agreed, yes. So Ranga was married to Ratna. So finally Ranga and Ratna got married. Years later, Ranga invited the narrator for dinner on the occasion of 3-year-old son. So both of them got married. They had a 3-year-old son. Okay, and year after they called the narrator. Okay, on Shyam, 3-year-old son Shyama's birthday, and they had named the son Shyama. Okay, he had named his son after the narrator because it was the narrator after his marriage. Okay, so as a tribute, you can say, out of love, so he had named his son also as Shyama. And young Shyama rushed to the narrator, put his arms around the narrator's legs. Okay, the narrator kissed him on his cheek and placed a ring on his tiny little finger as a birthday gift. And the narrator also revealed that Ranga's wife was 8 months pregnant then. Thus Ranga was leading a happy life with Ratna. So after that, okay, Ranga and Ratna led a very happy life. So the wife was pregnant again, and they were happily married family, you can say. Okay, so this was Ranga's marriage, and hope you would have enjoyed the whole story with the narrator. Okay, and definitely after this, when you read the story, there's no point where you would feel doubtful, but still, if there is some doubt, do put it in the comment box. Okay, and let me know. Put a thumbs up, put some comment over there. As always, like, share and subscribe if you have not subscribed. Thank you all. Thank you so much.